Macca's Guides.
Hey everyone, Macca here. The final mission of our Doom the Dark Ages 100% walkthrough. This is mission 22. We'll be primarily using the pulverizer and the combat shotgun for now, and we will be working towards our final masteries. We will have a mission challenge for defeating 2 Cosmic Barons in 5 seconds. There's only one place to do that. And we will also have to kill 25 enemies in a quick period of time, but that is very easily done near the end of the mission. If you have enjoyed this walkthrough thus far, I'd really appreciate if you dropped a like on the video if you think I deserve it, and I have enabled super thanks in the YouTube comments for those who want to go above and beyond. From the beginning, drop down, look to your right, find a Codex page. This is our final Codex page of our entire playthrough here. I will be showing you all of the ruby and gold locations, although we don't actually need any rubies or gold anymore. There is a Wraithstone in this mission we'll need to grab. There is a demonic essence in this mission we'll need to grab. And that should more or less be it with the Codex pages and the 2 toys. Generally speaking, do whatever makes you happy. For me, that is going to be working towards my pulverizer, which is my second to last weapon mastery. I'll want to finish it during this mission if possible. So I'll be using it quite a bit on pretty much every enemy encounter I can. Even though it's not very effective at clearing those enemy encounters quickly, it will get me the most possible progress. And I do also have a grenade launcher to do later in the mission. You can pretty easily clear that in one combat encounter at the end of the mission. Also, if you're very skilled, you may end up getting the mission challenge for killing 25 demons in 10 seconds. However, there's a very easy way to do it at the end of a mission, so don't worry about that one until later. I'm now up to 150 out of 250 for my pulverizer, which is not bad. Should have plenty of time to wrap up everything else. If you take a look back from where we came, you'll find a small cave. There's a secret here with a life sigil. Let's pick that up. Otherwise, I will be focusing primarily on the main objective here for quite a while, as there are a lot of side rooms that require you to have either the blue skull or the secret key. So I figured why not just work towards the secret key as quickly as possible. It is during a somewhat linear section, so we'll have to make some progress through the level to get it, and then we'll kind of backtrack and pick up and mop up everything we can. We'll need a secret key for the Wraithstone, so we're also going to save combat encounters that aren't necessary until the end. You'll be able to climb up the wall, drop a box, get through a hole in the ground. Here you'll be able to pull a lever. This lever will allow you to shield charge into a box from behind. And then this is a climb up to the next area. In the next area, we'll be able to grab our blue skull key card, but there are also a few collectibles to grab while you're here. Drop down and you'll immediately be able to grab 5 pieces of gold. And then in here, we only have 1 out of 11 secrets so far. You can take out all of the enemies, and then there are a few things to grab, like the ruby, a secret, and a chest of 50 gold. Once ready, not far from where we entered, there is a door on the opposite side of the ruby, and here you'll be able to go and find a hole in the ground that leads to a man cannon. Take the man cannon up, and as you land, spot the breakable wall right near you. Break through that wall, and behind it, you should find a golden chest worth 50 gold. We don't need all the gold, as we have enough to purchase everything if you've been following along, but I want to make sure you have that 100% on your save file. Then you can use the platform above the arena we were just in to drop behind a gate, and here we'll find another collectible that you don't really necessarily need, which is the ruby, but more importantly, you'll find a BFC ammo shot, and that's going to be very, very helpful later. Make sure you save at least 1 crossbow shot for the optional encounter later on. If you don't want a huge headache with one of the mission challenges, just save your combat ballista bow for now. Grab the blue skull. This will allow you to circle back into the area we came from earlier. And then again, we're going to temporarily ignore all of the little collectibles as we just want to make progress towards the secret key. Use the blue skull on the door across the little battlefield. And here you'll be able to jump down, take a couple of enemies out, keep working on your pulverizer if that's the same weapon you're working on. And then you'll be able to interact with a button. There are tons of little chests and extra rooms here that you won't be able to access until later. Once the Enforcer is no longer with us, we can follow the main path here. And as we come around the corner, there will be a small hole in the wall. You can actually try to go in here, but there is a lever to our right. There's also a door that requires us to have a secret key. So that means we'll be back here. So don't worry about anything you might miss. As you come into the next room, just work your best through these enemies. Work on your pulverizer if you're still working on it. I do end up getting the mission challenge here for 25 kills in 10 seconds, but don't worry. Again, I'll mention this. There's a very easy way to get it later on. You'll have a Berserker with infinite ballistic ammo, and you can get through like 50 enemies in one shot. After that, we'll follow the main mission marker, and as we do, there will be 5 pieces of gold up a ramp, and then a Mancubus, oh no, sorry, this is an Arachnotron at the top. If you walk past it, there are 5 more pieces of gold on the other ramp. I get a little bit confused here, and I take an extra turn that I didn't really need to take. You will find a crate that you can shield charge into after you drop it from the latch, and then after you push it into the next room, make sure you grab the other 5 pieces of gold nearby. This is the Mancubus I was mentioning. I guess it was here. I just misremembered the order. Just past the Mancubus, there is the gold. Not doing my greatest work here. I'm just trying to work on that pulverizer, which, to be honest, not one of the best weapons in the game. At the top, you can also find a full health, but that does not count as a secret for us. Now that we've pushed the box through, let's take a look. For our secrets, we should be at 3 out of 11, and for resources, you should be at 65 gold. I'm at 15 because I picked something up in a slightly different order than you probably did if you're watching this video. Sometimes I edit things in so that to save you time, basically. Go along that main story path, a couple more pieces of gold as you come around the corner and find the Revenant in front of us. We'll take out that Revenant and then continue and drop down the hole. Once you drop down the hole, you'll be able to find that there is like a Wraithstone nearby. We can't access it. Instead, just stand on the push plate. An enemy will spawn. At the end of the hall, there are some pieces of gold. I'm going to ignore them as we have to come back here for the Wraithstone. No point in wasting time. And enemy encounters since we don't have our Wraithstone. With the pulverizer, let's move to the next room. As you walk in, you'll have to use the energy node with your shield to open up the door. An Arachnotron will spawn in front of you. And just a little bit to the right, as you enter the room, you'll find a breakable wall. If you go through that breakable wall, you'll find a chest with 50 more gold. Make sure you grab that. It does also count as a secret area. And then after you grab the secret area chest, you can move to the next room to begin your next combat encounter. There will be a lot of pretty tough enemies in here. I would highly recommend that you do save your ballistic crossbow ammo for later, as there is a mission challenge that will be made significantly easier with a ballistic crossbow shot, and it can be very tough without it. As you come in here, I would just recommend still working through on your mission challenge, trying to maybe get 25 enemies in 10 seconds. Otherwise, your weapon mastery. I'm still working on my pulverizer here. I'm using my melee on a pretty good big enemy and then trying to grab some fodder with some of the peppering bullets and just get through this as quickly as you can. Once the encounter is done, you can walk forward towards the mission marker. Feel free to pick up some health, ammo, and the works in the arena before we move forward. There will be a ton of little pieces of gold and secrets we can grab in these next hallways. So you'll pick up 5 pieces of gold immediately as you enter. You really can't miss those. Ignore the shield breakable wall and instead go to the other little alcove. Here, a mancubus will jump through the wall to attack you, and behind it, you'll be able to find more pieces of gold, as well as some ammo, armor, and health. Now, instead of going up the elevator, it's not a point of no return, but getting back here after taking the elevator is not that quick. Break through the wall to reveal an energy node. Use your shield on the energy node to reveal a climbable wall. Climb up that wall and now begin to follow the hallways. This is a secret area immediately as you get here. There is a gold chest to grab once you're here, and then you can continue along this one-way path to the very end. There will be a demon here, and at the very end of these paths, you should be able to locate a ruby. Pick up that ruby. And then after the ruby, you're able to use a teleporter that will spawn just behind the ruby. It'll teleport you back to that elevator room. Just make sure you pick up everything along this path for now. As soon as we grab that ruby, which we technically don't need, as we don't need any more rubies for weapon upgrades, you can go through the portal. You'll be teleported in front of the elevator, ride the elevator up, and here you could move forward in order to basically round out, beat the game, but we do have a Wraithstone, very importantly, behind us, as well as some collectible toys to grab. So turn around as soon as you're at the top of the elevator. Here you'll find a couple pieces of gold and our secret key. The secret key is going to open up a ton of the map for us, a ton of pieces of gold, most importantly for us, a couple of toys, and a couple of the Wraithstone as well. So go through the gate. We are at 6 out of 11, 192 gold, 2 rubies. Let's go ahead and start collecting things. Drop down from the gate after we just grabbed the secret key, and to the right, you'll be able to find a secret key door. Go inside here, get 16 gold, as well as an onslaught, or whatever this upgrade is actually called, a secret area here as well. So we'll grab that and then move towards the center. And as we go towards the center, go towards where we use the blue skull keycard, which is to the right. And here we're going to mop up a bunch of doors we missed on our first time through, as well as the Wraithstone, now that we have that secret key. It's unfortunate we couldn't get the secret key earlier. This level feels open world, but it's actually pretty linear. As you come down into the area to your left, go through 2 doors, and here you'll be able to find a golden chest. So we'll grab the golden chest just past the secret key door here. And once we grab that, that's also a secret area. We'll then backtrack a little bit to the room we entered. There's only one way to go, and that's to exit out through this door right here next to the climbable wall. As you approach, go to the left, open up the secret keycard area, and here you will find your final Wraithstone, which we will apply to our final weapon, which in my instance is the grenade launcher, a pretty easy one to finish off as we complete the level. 16 pieces of gold as you exit. You'll be able to activate the switch, use your shield throw to open up the door, and connect yourself back to the Sentinel Shrine area in the middle of the map where we got our key earlier. We're basically going to do a huge circle now that we have the Wraithstone, and we're going to go and use the Wraithstone at a Sentinel Shrine. At the top of the elevator, ignore the Sentinel Shrine right next to us. Instead, go back into that center area where the blue skull was earlier. As you come into this area, 274 of your gold There is another ruby to get, 2 more secrets to get, and a couple of toys. So drop down forward and in front of us, and in this castle, immediately as you enter to the left, let's go ahead and interact with the Sentinel Shrine here and get our final weapon into its Mastery Challenge. For me, that is the Grenade Launcher, which requires you to damage 100 enemies using the Cataclysm. Cataclysm is when you get a direct hit with the Grenade Launcher, it will drop grenades around, and then those grenades can damage enemies. Do that 100 times. It's actually not as hard as it sounds to finish off by the end of the mission. Feel free to mark Cluster Fun as a mission challenge, and I'll also put Death Clock on the screen for you. Across the hall, you'll find another secret area with a ton of pieces of gold, a life sigil as well, and a hole in the ground that will drop down. As we drop down that hole, there is 32 more pieces of gold, as well as a secret pickable, uppable item. And that pickup item is a toy. There is one more toy to go, so your achievement won't quite unlock yet. This toy is for the Azrak. And now that we have the Azrak, you can climb up the wall. I would get your grenade launcher ready, and feel free to finish off any other weapon masteries you have. There is an optional Gore Nest encounter here. At the very end of this encounter, there are 2 Cosmic Barons that spawn at the same time. They actually spawn a little bit separated, so you have to just survive and wait for both of them. And once both of the Cosmic Barons are alive at the same time, personally, I'm going to recommend that you use your ballistic crossbow to take both of them out. But if you don't have a ballistic crossbow, that means you weren't paying attention to some of the tips I gave earlier, unfortunately. But you can still do it by either just, using a melee attack and hopefully damaging them slowly but surely. I'm also going to be working towards Cluster Fun here. It does take a little bit of time to start getting some progress. Just aim for direct hits with the grenade launcher as much as possible. So here, there is a Cosmic Baron already chasing me. I'm just basically waiting for the next one to spawn. I did get rid of all of the other fodder enemies, and I'm just trying to stay alive for as long as I can until the next one does spawn. When the next one does spawn, I'm going to obviously equip my ballistic crossbow, and I'm going to quickly get both of them done to get this mission challenge. Personally, this is my last mission challenge of the game, so you do see my achievement unlock here. There might be another one where you have to get 25 kills in 10 seconds. We'll get that in a second if you don't already have it. And this will also open up a toy, my final toy collectible in the game, to get that achievement or trophy done as well. We are at 42 out of 100 for Cluster Fun, and there is one more secret to grab before we move on a little bit. As we leave this area, you'll run past the Sentinel Shrine, and immediately to your left, you'll be able to find a secret key path that would have previously been locked. We'll go in there, and here we'll find a couple of pieces of gold, and also importantly, we'll find a ruby. You don't need the gold or the ruby, but you do want to grab the secret area. And I believe there was 24 total pieces of gold in this room, bringing us to 335 out of 335. We do have a demonic essence upgrade to go, as well as some weapon masteries and a mission challenge potentially if you don't already have those done. But for now, go ahead and walk towards the main mission objective.
Approaching Azur's hangar.
Slayer's getting close!
As you come into the next arena, I just recommend working towards your grenade launcher weapon mastery. You don't see my tracker on screen because unfortunately I had a glitch, but all you want to do is just use your grenade launcher to get as many direct hits as possible, and you should very quickly be able to fill up the 100 requirement in this one combat section alone. If for some reason you're struggling, that's okay. Once you reach the end of this combat section, you can pause the game, reload your last checkpoint, and it should save the progress you've already made, allowing you to just do this battle over and over and over again until you complete your weapon mastery. For some people, that may also mean they have to work on things like the Impaler or the Pulverizer as well. So you can basically get all of your weapon masteries done in this, which is basically our final really large combat arena, as there is a couple more enemies to fight, but this is where you can make a lot of progress very quickly. At the end of this battle, there is a leader, there's a couple of enforcers, and I would recommend once the Vagary champion spawns to use your ballistic crossbow. We don't really need the ballistic crossbow for anything else later in the game, so it's not a bad idea just to use a couple or one or two crossbow shots to end off this area a little bit faster. But for now, weapon masteries, and then don't worry if you're still missing a mission challenge. Plenty of opportunity to finish that coming up soon. So here you'll see me take out my final leader of the game, which is also my final demonic essence upgrade of the game. This, I believe, will be a ammo upgrade, and you won't see the achievement or trophy unlock on screen as I did it in a different playthrough, but it will unlock, and then you'll also get an additional achievement or trophy to unlock for having all demonic essence upgrades, so that should be a back-to-back pop right there. The Vagary champion did spawn, and I would recommend just to use one ballistic shot on it. You can save one for later for the final boss if you want. Take out the Vagary champion as quickly as you can. Work on any weapon masteries you have. Reload the checkpoint if you still need some more progress for those weapon masteries, as all we really have left is a hallway and then a final boss battle. You'll have everything you need at this point. You should be maxed out on rubies, gold, collectibles, anything else you need. Walk around the corner to begin the final section of the game. During the final section of the game, you can run forward into the hallway directly in front of us, and you will pick up a Berserker orb. Once you pick up the Berserker Orb, equip your ballistic crossbow, which even if you don't have ammo, you will automatically get ammo for it, and just go crazy with your ballistic crossbow in this room, easily getting your 25 kills in under 10 seconds in this room as your last mission challenge if you didn't get it earlier. Then what we can do is enter into the final boss room, making sure we have as much ammo and health and armor as possible. For the final boss battle, it's actually, unfortunately, a little bit underwhelming in my opinion, and it's pretty easy, at least with some of these tips and tricks. What I would recommend is using the super shotgun for the entire battle. Unless you are really starving for health, you can use the regular combat shotgun in order to ignite the bosses to get yourself to drop a little bit more health and armor from the bosses. Generally, all you'll want to do is close the distance with a shield charge, lay out into the boss whenever possible with your super shotgun. Then you'll want to also use your melees very often, pretty much as often as they recharge. Use your dread mace for really great damage, especially if you go back to back with a dread mace, and then you can kind of like stun lock the enemy. You will have to do a couple of successful parries, but if you are very aggressive with the damage, the boss barely has enough time to actually do attacks that you'll need to parry. The boss will also switch between Azrak and the Witch, so whichever one doesn't have the immediate armor on them, that's the one you're going to want to attack. Again, as a reminder, close the distance with a shield charge, use your super shotgun, use your combat shotgun if you are starving for health to ignite the bosses, use your dread mace as often as possible, and just switch between the enemies to make quick work of the bosses.
As long as I live, the Old One can still be resurrected. I command the Horde. Kill me, and this war will never end.
As the final boss comes to a close, there's only one more thing left for you to do, which is to drop a like on this video, tell a friend, and subscribe for future videos. As you complete the boss battle, you will roll the final cutscene of the game. The final cutscene then rolls into the final credits of the game, and you'll also unlock an achievement or trophy for completing the campaign on any difficulty. If you followed along, you should have nothing left, as we did all of the collectibles, codex, toys, all of the weapon upgrades, weapon masteries, shield ruins, and melee upgrades. We also grabbed all of the demonic essence, so we are locked in at the 100%. Thank you so much for watching. I hope the video was helpful. Special thanks to everyone on Patreon for supporting the show. Peace.